Salute,
Salute, G Money.
salute.
Salute, fellas. How y'all doing?
Good,
Good,
good, good.
good.
Let
Hey,
me let me
Money. How did your interview go?
It went great. The interview went very well. It went well. Hopefully, I'm also applying for other jobs out there. So I think the interview went well. So I'll see how everything goes.
Cool. Where you at, by the way?
I'm at Long Island right now.
Long Island.
Freeport.
Cool. Okay.
What
Cool.
about you guys?
Huh?
Where you guys at? I'm just asking.
Well, we're both in the Bronx.
Bronx? Okay.
Yeah,
Nice,
both
nice.
of us. Yeah.
Yeah, so welcome, Knicks
Thank
Nation.
you.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the next edition of Sky Hoops Knicks Dream. To join the conversation, drop your comments in the chat room, and we've also dropped the actual link to become a panelist. So if you want to join our episode, you're more than welcome to. You can participate either by chatting in the chat room and or as a panelist. With that being said, we're gonna start off the show. We're gonna kick it off with our prodigy. That's what we
Thank
call him, the prodigy.
Prodigy.
That's
Yes.
Thank
his
you.
nickname. I know his nickname is G Money, but AKA the
The
prodigy.
Prodigy.
The Prodigy.
I
Thanks,
like
thanks,
that. I
thanks.
like that.
And of course, we're gonna start off the show with talking about the previous game that we just
Mhm.
won. It was a big game against the Lakers. So I want to get your take, G Money. Kick us off, and then you pass the rock over to Bill Stradamus when you're done,
Right,
brother. Take
right,
it
right.
away.
Right. So about salute everybody. So about the
Salute.
Lakers game, our defense was on point. We did a good job forcing turnovers. We did a good job getting in transition. We did a good job slowing down Dennis Schroeder in the second half after he was killing us in the first half. Another thing too, surprisingly, we shut down Montrezl and Andre Drummond, which is crazy though. Which is crazy. So yeah, I know the Lakers did not have LeBron and AD, but we took advantage of that. And Julius Randle had an all-star type game. RG did not score a lot of points, but he did other things to help us out. Nerlens Noel had a big game with his energy. And also, Derrick Rose was attacking the rim. So I loved how our defense was locked in for 48 tough minutes. And we had a huge win against the defending champs. Hopefully, we can have the same mindset against the New Orleans Pelicans, who also don't have Lonzo Ball, but we just got to take advantage of the game. Take advantage of the night to get our first 4-game win streak of the season.
Okay. Go ahead, pass the rock. Pass the rock, G Money.
Oh, Pat, here you go, Bill Stradamus. Here's the rock, bro.
I looked for Pastor Brown, but
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Great take on the game, Prodigy. However, you missed an important player who kind of turned up in that game for us. Mr. Elf Payton.
Alfred Payton. Alfred
Yeah,
Payton
he
was a
came
catalyst.
Yeah, he did. He was the analyst, man. He gave us 20 points, 3 boards, 2 assists in only 27 minutes, man. It's good when I love when he has a good game, because all of the heat that he's been getting throughout the season, and he's seemingly not the same as he was at the start of the season. The beginning of the season, he was having these type of games, and when he had those type of games, we were winning. But then something happened, where he
Kind of struggled a little bit.
yeah, he struggled, seemingly kind of fell off. Then he had the injury, and since the injury, when he's come back, he's not been the same. However, here and there, he's still giving us these great outputs, and I'm just happy for when he does well, because he's a guy that was basically getting the brunt for us losing, and we need a real point guard and this and that. So whenever he does well, I'm happy, because he's still ours. He's still on the squad. Randall, he had him in one of them big boy games. Dropped 34 on the defending champs, 10 boards, few assists, 4 assists. Barrett wasn't on with the shooting. However, like you said, he did other little things that contributed. He only had 7 points and 3 boards and 3 assists, but he's out there. And he's becoming a better defender, a better
Oh
than
yeah.
average defender. He's out there. He's playing good defense, with the exception of his getting beat on those back doors.
Yeah.
Man-to-man defense, he's good, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes he gets caught out there for his for his lack of experience and gets
Right.
beaten on back doors. But other than that, he's playing well.
Right.
Z Rose came in, and I love when Z Rose comes in and changes that pace
Oh yeah.
to make them have to concentrate on him
Huge place.
as much as they're concentrating on say Randall.
Right.
Taj had a big boy game too. 10
Mm-hmm.
boards, only 8 points, but 10 boards.
Showing energy and hustle and slow it down, mind yourself. Hold them to a bagel. Zip.
Absolutely. Held him to a bagel. Held the big man Drummond to 3 points.
Crazy.
Wow. That is crazy. But I ain't gonna take up all of this this time. I'm gonna pass the rock over to my man, the Dream, who I see from the peripheral. Take it, Dream.
Appreciate the pass. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. So I appreciate the pass, and before I go to the basket, I'm gonna shake, shimmy, crossover, and I'm gonna leave THT on the ground, and I'm gonna call maintenance for a cleanup on aisle 5. I titled this game. I just love the way the Knicks came out, and all the song that kept playing in my head was "Let's Get Physical." Because I felt like they just took that man body and just started hitting it right back at the Lakers, right? And that's what we were worried about. The Lakers were going to try to do to us. I saw Randall pushing around people all over the place down low. The refs were letting that stuff go, and he took full advantage of that. And basically he came out with a strong quarter. Like you guys said, Barry didn't have a great game, but I felt like he had solid passing, and he set up
True.
guys
He did a lot of good things, man.
Yeah, a lot of breakouts, little things like that, put people in the right position to score. And then, at the end of the first quarter, I felt like, the second unit kind of fell apart a little bit and, didn't really close it out. They kind of had a sloppy ending to the quarter. Second quarter, back and forth play. Peyton and Schroeder kind of got loose against each other. So that was kind of nice to watch for a little bit. And, the Knicks battled back to then end up taking the lead. So that was nice too, Third quarter, Randall stayed hot.
Randall Bullock hit 2 big threes.
Yeah. So that was nice to see. Basically Knicks took a little 15-6 run to end the quarter and solidify our lead a little bit. Put us up 13. So that was kind of nice, to see them actually, like you said, we played that defense the entire game because they kept putting pressure on them in the fourth, kept turning them over.
True. And then I want to make this quick point. I remember the Lakers were down 15 in the fourth quarter. They actually went on a 10-0 run to pull within 5, but we showed that killer instinct. We finally understand how to put teams away. We didn't allow LA to feel comfortable. So so we went on a 19-9 run to close that game out, and then our defense was game. Yeah.
But you're right. Right after that 10-0 run, we went on an 8-0 run of ourselves just to come to put it right back on them. So you're absolutely correct. So all in all, I thought it was a good game. I was happy to win. They showed strong. We needed to put this in the W column. We really wanted them to come out and play strong and play smart. And they did all the above. So it was a really good win. And that being said, I just bounced it right back over my head. Santana.
Thank you, Dream. You guys have really broke it down pretty well, from first quarter to fourth quarter. So I'm just gonna talk about a few individual matchups that I was looking at and I was impressed with. They got physical with Drummond, which is good, which was very good. I didn't expect that. I expected Drummond to be the one to actually come out and be more physical than he was. But, he got frustrated because he wasn't able to just do what he wanted to do. So I was quite impressed with that. And then, of course, we also had Julius taking it to Morris. You know what I mean? He was using his physicality, on Morris, putting his body on him. And Morris had no answer for him. So, once they neutralized those two guys in terms of physicality, it was an even game. These other guys were not, they didn't make an impact, the rest of the players. Of course, their point guard, he's not 100%, and that's good. Elfrid was attacking him too.
Mm-hmm.
He got his point, but Elfrid was attacking him. So that's a good thing. And then of course, what's his name? Kuzma.
Kuzma.
Yeah, Kuzma,
He
was a
never had a
non-factor.
rhythm. He never
It
had a
was a
rhythm.
non-factor. So, I expected a defensive game. Both teams, play their defense and stuff like that. But, the fact that the Knicks, really imposed their will, that's what impressed me the most. But with that being said, I want to bring in H2O to give us his take on what he thought about the Lakers. So, fire away, H2O.
H2O is on the road. So,
Mhm.
this is going to be a very quick take, and then I'm just going to stay off until I get back to a stationary place where I can get, consistent Wi-Fi.
Fire away,
Okay.
brother. Fire away.
Okay. First and foremost, we won. We
Yep.
won a game that we needed to win, that we had to win, that we were supposed to win because they were shorthanded, and we were mostly at full strength. I even saw my man Pell at the end. Oh! We won in spite of the fact that Burks and my other boy Barrett were off. So it goes to show that it's a whole team effort. I think I heard Bill Stradamus mention the fact that although he didn't score a lot, he was effective. And I'm pretty sure that if you look at the plus minus, a line, he was a plus. Was in the game.
Yeah.
So he was out there defending. He was grabbing rebounds, and he was just doing the best that he could. It wasn't his game. The ball didn't come around to him, and when he did, he just missed the shot. He missed the shot. He was open. Having said that, I've always said it, and I will continue to say it. We win by committee, and we need anybody and everybody to step up, and every given Sunday, we just need. Randall was off a couple of nights ago, and a couple of games in a row, where he was below his average. Man, we picked him up.
Oh yeah.
The team picked him up. So now that he was on, well, then the ball is going to come to him. There's only one ball, and if he's going to take 35 shots and you're going to make or take 50 shots and get 35 points, and so be it. As long as we win at the end of the game, take it away.
Go ahead, G Money.
Yeah, man. Like you said, H2O, Julius Randle was aggressive in this game. He wanted to take it to his former team, which he did just that. Also, like we all agreed, RJ Barrett, he was not great offensively, but did other good things, like defense, hustling, slowing down Kuzma. He did other good things. And also, our bench outplayed their bench. That's what's key too. So, yeah, that's what's key too. So, and that was a huge win. Because remember, the Lakers just came off blowing out the Nets the night before, so we needed to beat the defending champs. We needed to show people that we are for. I know the Lakers did not have LeBron and AD, but we still took advantage of that. And now we're on our sixth. We are in our sixth 3-game winning streak of the season. Hopefully, we can have a 4-game streak tonight against a Pelicans team that does play well at home, but don't have Lonzo Ball. So, if we could come up with the right focus tonight and not look down on our opponent and play discipline for 48 minutes, we can get win number 4 in a row. I'll pass the ball to Bill Stradamus.
Okay, hey Prodigy. Okay, if Ball is not playing, who's going to run the?
I think it may be Alexander Walker.
What about Bledsoe?
They're running Zion at the point. They've been running Zion at the point the last 3 games.
True. Zion can't play the point though, because Zion can't bring the ball up though. So, but here's the thing: if they put Zion at the point, who's going to be their 4? That's the thing though, because Ingram's going to play tonight. I think Ingram will be their 3.
Yeah. And Bledsoe will be the 2, and the 4 they've been rotating a different person in ever since they had Zion at the point. So I have it down as a question mark because I don't know who they're going to put in.
True,
Oh,
true,
okay.
true.
But
True,
now,
and we all know Adams is at the 5, so it's like,
Yeah.
So New Orleans is going to shuffle their lineup because don't forget it's a big game for the Pelicans too because they're trying to make the playoffs, so it's a big
Mm-hmm.
game for them too. So,
yeah,
and I want to ask you something. What do you guys think of the play-in tournament?
Well,
Like,
let's hold on.
oh,
Let's finish breaking this down. Let's not shift
sorry.
the
yeah.
focus.
Let's.
Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill.
I just,
We'll get to that. We'll get
Oh,
to that.
okay.
all right. Yeah. Well. Back to the game. We controlled the pace,
Right.
which is what we needed to do, and the pace we were able to control the pace because of our defense.
Mhm.
Basically, we had 89 shots, which our statistician says that's within our
Yep.
winning capability, our best chance to win capability,
Yeah.
and with that we shot 47%. We didn't shoot well from the 3, only 5 for 27. However, 27 is better than what was the game before? We took over 30. So
Yeah.
if we can stay to like 25 threes and under, I think we'll fare well doing that. But where we got them at, surprisingly, we killed them on the boards.
Crazy.
We out rebounded them by like 14. So and we had 9 blocks to their 7. So it was a block party out there, but we ended up winning that block party. And they held well. They had almost double the amount of turnovers that we had. I think we had something like 50. Yeah, we had 15, and they had 24. So not double, but they had significantly more turnovers than we did, and that also contributed based on our defense. All of that is defensive strength and the way that we have to win. So basically, we had an overall good game, not the greatest game shooting, but the defense held us down. We shot pretty good from the free throw line. We missed 5 out of 27 for 81%. So I mean, we still need to work on that area. We need to be 85. We need to be an 85% shooting free throw team.
85 or above.
Because our strength is going to the hole. So we're going to draw fouls. So if you draw the fouls, it would make sense to hit the free throws. So, and then we killed them in the paint, 54-38. We dominated them. So all of those things culminated into a nice victory. And I forgot to address Santana as Papi Santos because I'm still happy. So with that being said, I will do a bounce pass because I see him from my other peripheral. I see him coming on my left while I'm looking right, and I'll just hand the ball off to the Dream.
And I'm gonna step back, take 2 dribbles back from the 3, and just put a fadeaway up. Dame Lillard style.
So
some individual numbers I kind of like proud of. The first 2 guys I want to call up is Noel and Gibson because those 2 combined had 14 points and 19 rebounds in a game that they were supposed to get pushed around and against Drummond, Gasol, and Harrell, who only had 6 points and 13 rebounds. So big claps to those gentlemen for really standing up and being a boss in this game. The other boss thing we do, we protect the house. So in our last 16 games at home, we're 12-4. So let's keep that streak going. Let's keep punching it alive. And the other streak that we got going is 7 straight games. That bench is still winning for us every single game. They were a little tighter last night, but at least we still got them coming across. They won 32-29. So, it's important. And, little areas that did help us win. You mentioned the rebounding, but the important part of the rebounding for, I think, the second or maybe even third straight game in a row, we are double figures in rebounding. And in this particular game, it was 15-4. So we're taking away their second chance points, and we're giving ourselves second chance points at the basket. And the +9 free throw attempts. We got them in a little bit of foul trouble.
We were aggressive. We were very aggressive.
Yeah. So those just free throw attempts, the makes is also important, but getting the attempts and going to the line, it means that they're fouling us in haste and trying to get back in the game. But overall, like you guys said, I'm very happy about the entire game, and I don't have no complaints. I think I watched it like twice, so it was nice. I sent it across court. 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how you doing, man? I don't think there's anything else to add. Game. I don't know. We're ready to transition to tonight's game.
I think it
The
shows
freeze is
Mike might be
2.0.
frozen.
Oh,
Oh
he
yeah, I
froze.
guess Frost. Oh yeah, I guess he said that he needs to go. Never mind.
Season. Yeah. The
Oh yeah, Wi-Fi. Because he's someone with
Yeah.
just bad Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just pick it up, G-Money. Got it.
way things are changing rapidly.
You're freezing, Henry.
Yeah. This is just a suggestion.
Lost, but they lost.
You're gonna have to repeat all of that because we're not hearing what you're
No,
saying.
this is just a suggestion. Maybe again, we're not trying to be mean, but maybe you should find somewhere where the Wi-Fi is good so we can hear you clearly.
Yeah,
Just a
you gotta get back
suggestion.
in 10
That's
minutes.
what I said.
Yeah.
I'll take it away. I'll come back later.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Prodigy.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think what he was trying to say is that there's nothing much we can add. I think he was trying to say that our defense was on point for pretty much the entire game. That we slowed down Dennis Schroeder in the second half after he was killing us in the first half. Also, like I said, we were physical. Like we all agree, we were physical with Drummond and Harrell. Also, Kyle Kuzma never got into a rhythm. KCP did not play all that good. Ben McLemore, he was destroying the Nets. We slowed him down last game, and we did a good job getting to the line, making our free throws. We gotta shoot better at the line. We know that, but that's what the team is. So going to this game, we got to this is the Pelicans. My keys for the game: double Zion in the paint, slow down Brandon Ingram, limit turnovers. New Orleans likes to run. Limit turnovers. Don't prevent transition with New Orleans. Also, our bench has to outplay their bench. And also, we got to try to be physical with Zion and Steven Adams in this game. And if you're Julius Randle, don't forget he's a former Pelican too. Don't forget Julius Randle and Alfred Payton were former Pelicans. So I expect Julius Randle to have another All-Star type game tonight. And Alfred Payton, I expect him to keep playing well, to be productive. And I think RJ Barrett is going to go. I think RJ Barrett and Zion Williams will have a duel tonight. I have a feeling though, because we're Duke buddies, so I think they both have a pretty good game. And Phibbs has to continue to use the right rotations like he's been doing the past 3 games. If we can do these things, right, we should be able to win this game. And I think we will win this game, but it's not going to be easy because we're a better home team. We're not very good on the road. New Orleans is a good home team, so I think it could be a tough game for us to win because, like I said, the Pelicans also want to make the playoffs themselves in the West. So I think we will win this game, but it's going to be difficult. And I'm going to dish the rock behind the back to you, Bill Stradamus.
All right, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to fake right, Euro, and go with the left on just a little nice sweet layup and get the N1.
Yeah.
And I'll hit my free throw also. I hit my free throw. I agree with you with what we have to do with regard to tonight's game. We have to keep a body on those big guys.
Oh yeah.
Now, Steven Adams is tough under there.
Yeah.
So Noel and Gibson, they're going to have their hands full again tonight, and probably even more so than they did with Drummond, because Zion and Steven Adams, that's like I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hawk and Animal. That's the old Road Warriors. That's what those two guys are. They're like big beasts down there. And Zion will definitely look to have a good game going against his college buddy Barrett, and I think Barrett will be looking to have a good game, going back at him. My guess is that the matchup is going to be Zion and Randall, where they're going to be guarding each other. So that means that we really have to put somebody on Ingram, because he's the one that he can cut loose and give us 30 easily. So
That's
we're
what I'm
gonna
saying. We
have
gotta
to.
contain them.
Yeah, we got to contain him. We got to keep whoever we got to keep. Maybe it's probably going to be Bullock's assignment. It's going to probably be Bullock on him. And when Bullock is not in, and then maybe Burks, the other one. But either way, both of them, they have to stay in that man's jersey. Don't and be a little rough and be rough with him as well, because he fashions himself as a scorer. He's a good scorer. He's a good scorer, and he's a smarter player than he has been. He's progressively getting better, seemingly every season. So don't think that it's just Zion that we have to look out for. That man is just as important. Yeah.
Yeah, man, they have talent, man. That Pelicans team, I know
They
New Orleans
do.
has kind of been. I know the Pelicans have kind of been a little bit disappointing for most of the season. They're playing better now, but I know New Orleans has been disappointing. But they have talent, man. The Pelicans team has some
Absolutely.
talent. So we just
Absolutely.
gotta, like you said, man, we just gotta contain Brandon Ingram, which is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. And I want to add this quick point. Like I said, our bench has to outplay their bench. We got to outplay Jake Jackson Hayes and Alexander Walker. We got to outplay those guys, man.
Well, we can. And soon as Rose hops up off that bench and quickly hops up off that bench, that's going to present a huge problem for them. Because what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What do they got for Rose and what do they got for Quickly? Hopefully both of them are on top of their game. And I don't know if you guys noticed. I noticed D Rose's defense is not that bad either. D Rose is out there. Yeah. He's out there playing some defense. Yeah. And so we're going to need all of that tonight and a little more. So I'll drop it down over the left shoulder to Dream, so he can tell us what that little more is. Go ahead, Dream.
Yeah. So that little more is this monkey wrench that they started throwing into their lineup the last 3 games. Starting with Philadelphia, all 3 games they won. They beat Philadelphia, Sacramento, and then I forget the other team. Nobody really major, but the fact is that they now have this guy playing the point guard position. That changes everything because he's not a prototypical point or doesn't have that prototypical point body. He's like, he can run through anybody, he can throw dribble with anybody. So even getting close to him to try to steal the ball, you have to be kind of physical. So that presents kind of like a weird matchup as far as a lineup that we can throw out to combat that, because the honest truth is that you're not going to have Randall picking him up 3/4 court, half court, 3-point line. So it has to be like Bullock or somebody like that on whatchamacallit, right? On Zion, basically, for most of the court, and then try to switch the D as they come across.
Switch it as across.
It's going to be a lot of interesting things Thibodeau's going to have to come up with, because then, the Bledsoe Payton matchup, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Adams and Noel, I'm okay with that, but it's the, Zion at the point and then whoever they put in at the 4, that changes things a little bit for us, and then that leaves Barrett on Ingram, which I'm not really too happy about either, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the real Duke matchup that I'm looking at. I know these guys are friends, Zion and Barrett and stuff like that. I just don't think like they'll match up. They'll get together and have some fun on the court playing against each other, but the individual matchup I think is going to end up turning out to be Brandon Ingram against Barrett. So, and they both went to Duke too. So, Ingram's going to be like, I'm the guy, Right. So, and he just finished putting up 34 points and stuff like that recently too. So, that's an interesting matchup. The whole game is going to be an interesting matchup. Both teams come in winning 3 straight, so that's kind of nice, And I want to say that the Lakers' size was a good setup for this game for us. It's not like we came in against playing a small team and all of a sudden we got all this size coming at us. Even though they didn't play well, on the Lakers end, I feel like just seeing that size and playing against it, some body weight and stuff like that, it will help a little bit. I look at Adams as more of a scrappy and aggressive kind of guy down low, than Drummond is. Drummond just kind of leans on you a little bit, whereas these other guys, they're really trying to be physical with you, So, it's going to be important to approach the game that way. And like you said, that the bench is definitely a key matchup for us. These 3 guys, Kyrie Lewis Jr., Isaiah Thomas is now over there, and Jackson Hayes I also have. But quickly,
by the way, they didn't sign Isaiah Thomas their second 2-day. That's what I heard.
They didn't? Oh, they
They
did.
didn't. I don't think they didn't. I don't think so.
So maybe he's not there. Okay. So because he came in and put a couple points up in his little bit of minutes and stuff like that. So he's always, a little spark plug. But if he's not there, then he's not there. One less person to worry about. Outside of that, this is going to be we're going to have to bring the defense on the road with us, right? Defense hopefully travels. Last couple of games, we've been doing a pretty good job. 3 of the last 4 games, we've been holding teams to like double digits below their point average. The only one that got away from us was the Memphis game. But, we had overtime tossed into that, so it kind of dropped the numbers a little bit, but Memphis was still like 2 points ahead of what they score on average. So everybody else, though, in the last 4 games, we've been holding them -10 or under, and I'm hoping that carries over into a game like this because we're going to need it, I don't think any of these other guys are back yet, so I'll just toss a nice lob back up top to G-Money.
Yes, sirree, man. It's gonna be a difficult game. Pels like to fly to the basket, and this will be fun. I'm surprised. I know the Knicks and Pelicans are on ESPN on Sunday. I'm actually surprised this game's not nationally televised a little bit though, because the whole Zion versus RJ story. I know they're gonna show the Mavs and the Grizzlies on ESPN, which is a good game there because 2 teams fighting for the playoffs, and also you have the Nets and the Sixers. 2 teams who are fighting for the number 1 seed. I would have thought that ESPN could have put this Knicks Pelicans game on ESPN 2, in my opinion. That's what I would have done. So, but anywho, this is gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a down to the wire game. It's gonna be physical, and also Thibs has to outcoach Stan Van Gundy. Thibs has to outcoach Stan Van Gundy in this game, and also we got to double team Brandon Ingram at times. We got to double team Brandon Ingram because Ingram's not a great passer. He's more of a scorer. Zion can pass the ball. We all know Zion can pass, but I'm saying is that we can double Zion in the post sometimes. There's certain moments you can do certain things. And also, I know Zion does not like to take a lot of outside shots, but we got to dare him to shoot a lot of outside shots. Give him the Giannis treatment. You know what I mean? Pack the paint, dare him to shoot outside shots. We got to give him the Giannis treatment. If he hits build a wall. If he hits threes on us, okay. But don't dare him to shoot those shots. Don't let him go to the basket because he's too strong.
Ridiculous.
When he goes to it. He's tough. He can fly. He's athletic. I know he can bang a little bit though. Zion is just a beast. Zion, if he can lose a little bit of weight and get a jump shot, Zion's gonna be more of an assassin. Woo! That boy is a beast. So we just have to try to, pack the paint with Zion, build a wall, and also we got to try to double Zion in certain moments of the game and double Ingram in other moments of the game. And that's what we have to do. And we have to limit our miscues so the Pelicans don't get into transition. Because when New Orleans gets into the fast break, they're very hard to stop. And here's the good thing. This game may come down to the wire, but which team's going to show the most IQ down the stretch of the game? Because New Orleans, I think, has a lot of games in which they've blown 10-point leads, double-digit leads. They have a lot of games in which they choked a lot of big leads. And us, I know we're starting to figure out how to close games, but we've been struggling closing games most of the season. So I feel this game's going to come right down to the last minute. So we're going to see which team is going to show IQ and which team is going to make the right amount of adjustments to pull this off. Because remember, we're only a half game up behind Miami in the standings, and we're tied with Charlotte in the standings. So, and I think we're a game back of Boston. So it's like we need this game. We need to get as much wins as we can. Hopefully, we get some help here, and just take care of our business. So, and I'll do an alley-oop to Bill Stradamus.
Alley-oop. Okay, nice. I still got a little spring in it in the old knees. So I took it with 2 hands and threw it down over 2 defenders. Okay, I just checked, and you're right, Prodigy, that Isaiah Thomas, his 10-day was up with them, and they decided not to sign him to another 10-day.
Which is crazy.
It's right now. I don't know why, but
all right, one less bench player to worry about.
Right.
Perfect.
Thank God.
That's good
if
for us.
If he would have played today, I'd have weird if he would have had a big game if he would have played today.
Yeah.
So that's good for us. But I agree with you guys saying the keys. And I will have to agree with you, dear Prodigy, with regard to Ingram, because I'm just as worried about him as I am with Zion, believe it or not. And with Dream saying that Zion's playing the point, we are going to have to make some defensive decisions out there. And I like what you said earlier, like, maybe what's that man, Bullock, pick him up from the backcourt, and once they come over half court, somehow get a switch with the bigger defender guarding him. All of that is, that's what Tibbs gets paid for. Tibbs and his coaches, that's what they get paid for, to figure those nuances out. On our end, though, defense. If we concentrate on that defense, we can go in there and walk out of there with at least a steal, because like you guys mentioned, those guys are looking to try to make the playoffs. They've been playing better recently, and the RJ Zion thing is going to be what everybody's going to be talking about. However, the feeling from our end should be us going in there, doing what we've been doing these past 3 games, and be able to sneak one out of there. Get us a road win, because like G Money said, we're not as good of a road team, of course, as a home team. However, we've stolen a few.
That's true. We're stolen some few good road wins, yeah. And we came close into winning, and we came close into pulling off more. A few plays here and there against Brooklyn and Boston and Cleveland and Sacramento. We could have easily had even a better record. Sure, and we should have been in Orlando. Like, I don't know how we lost to Cleveland, Orlando, Sacramento. We got to beat the teams we're supposed to beat. New Orleans is a good team. It's a decent team, but this is still a winnable game, though. I know the Pelicans are playing better, but still, this is still a winnable game, because New Orleans, like I said, they're not fully healthy themselves. They don't have Lonzo Ball, who's their point guard. So we got to come out here. We got to play smart for 48 minutes, and if you're Thibs, like you've been doing, be open-minded and understand which rotations are helping us and which rotations are not. If we can put in the right rotations that are helping us, then we can very well win this game. So it's going to be a tough game, man. It's going to be a very, very tough game. And I expect this to come down to the wire. And I think we could actually sweep the Pelicans today and Sunday. That's what I think.
We could. But like you said, all of those things that you stated, what Dream stated, what I'm stating, if we do all of those things, we can get this. Because, like I said earlier, these past 3 games, we've seen that down the stretch, we seem to have learned from previous games that we lost in those close situations. It seems that we've learned well, because we were able to take certain situations and make the outcome come in our favor. So, again, defense, and then also I'm expecting a bounce back game offensively from Barrett, and from Burks, both of them, and quickly. Quickly didn't have an exceptionally great offensive game last game. So all 3 of those guys, at least 2 of them are going to have a bounce back game. Well, that's my hope, and I'm guessing, but I think that at least 2 of them, 2 out of those 3, will have a much better game than they did last time, offensively, I should say, because I still think Barrett had a good game, although he didn't even hit double figures. But with that being said, let me see, a swing around, fake pass one way, swing all the way around to the Dream. I saw it.
Dream coming from the right wing and the left hook. So I'll just make these 2 points real quick, then we'll swing it to 2.0 so you can get himself on the table. But defensive rotations, that's what's really what's changed in our favor that we learned from. Because if we go back to the Boston game, ending that game, it was a defensive rotation that kind of killed us. We came a little early on the double,
the far man didn't rotate over to Smart. Smart gets the top of the key three at the end of the game. But we learned from that these last couple
Oh
of
yeah.
games because super tight, and especially last night I noticed it like in the first and second quarter is that their rotations were on point, and so
Real.
much so that the same play that Boston ran
The
against us, the LA ran against us. I don't think they tried to, but it just came out that way where they had to toss the long ball because we rotated, and then Bullock came right across
Bullock
from
came
down
for
low and stole it.
with the
And so
steal.
that's what needed to happen. And so we do see those adjustments, and the adjustments that Tibbs made. And Tibbs is going to have to, right before this game, we're going to find out what the starting lineups are really going to be and who's going to be in what position. And that is really going to set the tone, is who's going to be where when we find out where these guys are playing. Are they going to try to throw a monkey wrench and do Zion at the point again? Or are they just going to try to implement that during the game? All that matters right away before we start, and it's going to basically swing the game in one way or the other. Before I throw a score out, I'll just toss it cross court 2.0. Take it away.
Yeah, thanks again, man. Okay, so I was talking about the fact that at this time I'm looking now. I am, what is it, like scoreboard watching?
Yes.
See where other people are, because this is the time of the year. We're coming to the end, the last 15 games or so, and every game, every night, there's going to be an up and down, flip between certain teams. So I was really happy to see that. The Hawks won, which I wasn't so happy to see. I wanted Toronto to win, but the
Blazers and Celtics.
Miami,
Blazers had that game, man. It's like they had it.
they
Like
put back.
they're up one. If you're CJ McCollum, why would you foul Jason Tatum up one? And then if you do, and also if you're Damian Lillard, God. If
So
you're
I
Dame,
don't know what they're doing there.
go ahead.
Again, at least we have Miami and the Hornets.
Charlotte's not losing to Cleveland. I doubt it. Charlotte, I mean, they could, but I doubt it.
Well, at least last night they
lost to LA.
I'm hoping that tonight LA will take care of somebody. Rather, LA took care of the Hornets last night. And I'm just hoping that continues to, that their schedule, whether it's more difficult or not, that they fall into a little spin, a tailspin. I know I heard you, G Money, mention that, hopefully we'll end up having a 4-game winning streak by the end of tonight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I heard you guys mention the Randall and Zion, head to head. But I think even more important, I think Randall going back to his old team and put it to them again. That's another possibility, just like he did to the Lakers. He could have that kind of motivation. I'm hoping that he has that motivation to make sure that because we need to win every game in front of us.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're not going to win every game, but we need to win every game in front of us. And then we go into the attitude that we need to win this game. Hopefully, we'll win most of them. And we need 9 or 10 or 11 out of the next games. And I don't like the play-in situation. I think if you end up in 7th place, you shouldn't even be bothered with the rest of that stuff. It should be 8, 9, and 10 playing for 8th. Why is 7th being penalized?
In my personal opinion, I don't mind. That reminds me. Look at Doncic and Mark Cuban were upset about the play-in tournament because they didn't want to be involved with it. Here's what I think. I don't mind the play-in idea. In my personal opinion, I would have 7, and this is just me. I know I get what you're saying, H2O, but here's what I believe. I don't agree with 7 and 8, then 9, 10, then loses 7, 8 plays 9. That's stupid. In my opinion, this is just me. I would have, this is just me, 7 play 10, but have the lower seed have to win twice, while the higher seed have to win once. And I would have 8 and 9 play up against each other. The 9 seed would have to win twice, the 8 seed would have to win once. That's what I would do personally, because again, I can understand why they have a plan to limit tanking, but at the same time, I think the format is really horrible. because it's like 7 and 8 play one game for 7, 9 and 10 play one game for 9, and loser 7 and 8 plays a winner of 9 and 10. That doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense. It really doesn't. That, in my opinion, I would have 7 play 10. I would have 8 play 9. I would have the lowest seed have to win twice, and have the higher seed have to win once. That is me personally.
We still got 4 teams going for 7th and 8th, basically.
Yeah. I want to stipulate that.
Yeah, spots. And I would say we should have 8, 9, and 10 play for 8th, a round robin. Whoever wins the 2 out of those, whatever, however they want to do it. I say leave 7th out of it, man. You work hard to get to 7th spot.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. My idea is this: you only have to win one game if you're the 7 or 8 seed. All you have to do is win one game. The lowest have to win twice. That's all. Yeah, that's my idea.
Okay.
The higher seed only has to win one game. In my idea, the lowest seed had to win twice.
So what is it that they're doing now?
What they're doing now is the 7 and 8 seed play one game against each other for 7. The 9 and 10 seed play one game against each other to get for 9. The loser of the 7 and 8 plays the winner of the 9th and 10th. The winner of the 9th and 10th have to beat the loser of the 7 and 8 twice.
Okay.
But I like because we discussed this before, and I think Dream had the perfect scenario where like you was alluding to, Henry, leave the 7th out. Let 9 and 10 play, and then the winner plays whoever's sitting in 8 for the 8th spot, and leave it at that. And leave it at that. So. Because like you said earlier, you fought and struggled all year. You got the 7th spot, which in previous years that was good enough. But now you got to play a team that might have just been getting hot at the end of the season or what have you. You got to play them, the 8th or the 10th, however it goes, and then automatically knocks you out because of a game that you lose. You can get knocked out of your 7th spot that you've been fighting for all season. So that's where I don't think it's fair. However, like we discussed before, all of that is money generating. So if they could, they'll stretch it to have 12 teams competing for the last 2 spots. But that just would make absolutely no sense. But
that'll be done.
But I do like the play-in process. I do like it. However, I think they need to fine-tune it, as all of us would agree. They need to fine-tune, how it's done and which teams are automatically in and which teams have to fight to get in. So, go ahead, Dream.
I think it'll only going to cause an issue or stink with anybody if you have, like, let's say Boston finishes in the 7th seed, right? And let's say Chicago finishes in the 10th seed, 5 games down behind them in the standings, and then beats them for whatever reason. Maybe they get an injury or something like that. Now you have the 10th seed beating the 7th seed, right? And then the 8 and 9 is whatever. So what are you going to do? Then you have to reseed those teams because you have a team that lost 5 games less than this, or 5, 5 less games in the standing, and now they jump up to the 7th seed. Like, how does that dynamic start to work itself out? Like that's the only thing
that I look at it where
it becomes a little bit.
Points, but no, you guys make good points. I just don't agree with 9 and 10 because it's gonna make it even longer. Because you have to understand, there's still a virus going on, so I want to my idea will limit more travel. So that's just me. And like I said, in my idea, I would have the 7 and 8 seed only have to win once. And the lower seed had to win twice. It's like my idea. I'm giving this higher seed an advantage. All you have to do is to execute for one simple game and you win and you make the playoffs. That's all you have to do. If you cannot do that and you lose twice, then you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying though, and that's just me because I don't agree with 9 and 10 playing at each other and then try to get it. Nah, it takes too long in my opinion because like I said, there's still a virus going on. We don't know how long this virus is gonna go. And it's gonna be extra travel. That's just me though. rather that I can just make it easier, in my opinion, to have 7 and 10 go up against each other. But like I said, have the 10 seed win twice, the 7 seed win once, and have 8 and 9 go against each other. Have the 9 seed have to win twice, have the 8 seed only have to win once, and to make it simple, because it's like you, because if you're 7 and 8 seeds, you have a good enough team to make the playoffs. All you have to do is win one. In my idea, at least, you have to win one game to solidify. You can't do that. You can't win one simple game to solidify.
Anybody can lose one game.
Yeah.
See,
It happened in Memphis last year. It happened in Memphis.
Yeah.
You have
One
2
game,
games.
Yeah.
One game, and you were 5 games over the 10th seed, and because you lost that one game, now
you have another game. You have another game. So you still have another chance. You still have another chance. It's not single elimination. It's not, though. It's not single elimination. I just said the lower seed, in my idea, will have to beat the higher seed twice. The higher seed only has to win once. That's my playing format.
Yeah.
There's no single elimination. I will never do that. No single elimination, because you have another chance.
Okay, we're in the A spot right now.
But sure, I don't want to be in the play-in. I want to be in the playoffs. So I don't want to be in the play-in.
A spot is play 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th are play-in. So you got to be in 6.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I want to be 4, 5, or 6.
Okay, that's why I'm watching daily. You know how things change, and who's playing who and who's losing. I'm watching the Hawks, the Celtics.
The Hawks are playing.
Pretty sure you can fact check me on G Money. I think we have the most home games left.
We have a lot of home games. Yeah, we have a lot of home games.
A ton of home games too, and we have, like I said, we 12-4 in the last 16 games at home. We need to just keep building up on that. And if we
on the road, obviously. So yeah, and also I want to make this quick point. I know what happened last night, but I forgot to finish my rant on the Blazers and Celtics. That last play, there's many reasons why Portland lost this game. Okay, down by 1. If you're Dame, go to the basket. Don't shoot a fadeaway jump shot, man. Go to the basket, man. And also, down by 1. Why is CJ McCollum guarding Jason Tatum at the right wing? What is that, though? That's what I want to know.
I think that's a coaching decision to help the Celtics win.
Terry Stotts.
Call Stotts and ask him.
Terry Stotts. Listen, I love Dame and CJ, but sometimes they don't have IQ in close games. I gotta be honest. Dame and CJ do not have IQ in close games. And if you're Terry Stotts, sometimes he has to be one of the dumbest coaches in the NBA. It's like, what kind of the whole ISO ball, Dame, CJ, dribble, waste of shot clock. Here's the craziest. Carmelo Anthony was going off last night. Melo was going off. Why didn't you keep feeding Melo the ball? Melo was going off. His jumper was flowing. Keep feeding him. Yes, Dame and CJ can score. We know that. But what kills me about the Blazers, they don't show IQ in close games against tough teams. That's the thing. Like last night, I don't get Dame and CJ. I don't get Stotts. It's like, if you're Terry Stotts, CJ cannot guard Tatum. He cannot guard him, though. Why don't you tell Robert Covington or Norman Powell to guard Jason Tatum at last play? And 2, if you're Damian Lillard down by 1, go to the basket. Yeah, I know a mid-range shot can be good, but that's a tough shot. Go to the basket, get free throws, or do a pick and roll with Nurkic, or heck, get the ball to Melo. Melo is lining the Celtics up with his jump shots. Get him the ball. He was 10 for 14 to start the game. He only took 1 shot late in the fourth quarter. 1? What? 1. Come on, man. The good news is the Suns blew the Heat out. The good news. Sadly, Jimmy Butler hurt his ankle. I hope Jimmy Butler's okay. He did come back, so I hope Jimmy Butler's okay. So the Suns blew the Heat out. Okay. It would have helped us if the Blazers had a brain and actually know how to execute. If Portland actually knew how to execute, we will be tied for 6 right now. But instead, I'm sorry for ranting because it's like
All right.
that has been one of the dumbest things I ever saw. It's like I never heard. Oh my god, grief! It's like you're down one, but I'm gonna take a fadeaway mid-range shot. You're down by one, but I'm gonna let one of the worst defenders in CJ McCollum guard one of the best scorers in Jason Tatum. That makes no sense.
Listen, G Money, you are absolutely 100% correct. I was listening to the radio this morning on I forgot the name of the show, but they got one of the coaches that used to coach the Timberwolves for a minute. He was saying the same thing, that one of the stupidest play to run in the last minute is a 25-foot fadeaway jumper.
A jump shot. It was a mid-range, but it was a fadeaway. It's Damian Lillard's fault too. It's also Dame's fault too. Look, Dame and CJ can score, but I noticed this with these guys in the playoffs. They don't show IQ. I'm sorry. Again, I know they've played the Warriors. I know they've played great teams. I get that. But another reason why the Blazers don't win, they don't. We all know they don't defend. We know that. But it's also the fact that you have two guys who don't make their teammates better. That's what I'm saying. Carmelo Anthony is in a rhythm. Carmelo is lining it up. Give him the ball, man. Feed him. Feed the hot hand. The Celtics don't. The Celtics couldn't stop Melo from the mid range or the baseline jump shot or even the three. Why'd you stop feeding him the ball? He only took one. He only took one shot in like late in the game.
The last 7 minutes, yeah, one shot.
What?
Yeah. Well, we'll be watching, folks. That's all we can say. We'll keep watching. Again,
I'm allowing the Cleveland Cavaliers to beat the Hornets. Holy heck. Cleveland, really? The good news is that Miami's in Denver. So I assume Miami's probably going to lose. I mean, you never know, but I assume Miami's going to be in Denver. Prayers up for Jamal Murray because he tore his ACL. Prayers up for him. Hopefully he can recover. Have a speedy recovery. The Nuggets are virtually done. I don't think the Nuggets have a shot to go to the finals this season without Jamal Murray. So prayers up for him. And the Pacers are in Houston against the slumping Rockets. So let's be honest. The Pacers are going to beat the Rockets. In my opinion, the Hornets are probably going to beat the Cavs. And I think the Nuggets beat the Heat. What do you guys think?
I hope the Nuggets beat the Heat. That's one that we need. The Cavs,
and the Hornets. The Cavs are in Charlotte. They're in Charlotte.
Hornets more than likely will win. Hopefully, the Cavs will give an upset. But,
and they had the Pacers and Rockets in Houston.
The
Pacers got that.
Rockets.
Pacers gonna get that. It don't matter where
they win that game. Houston's not trying to
win.
win.
No matter where they play.
Well, the Pacers played last night too.
Yeah, they played last night. They lost to the Clippers.
Right. It don't matter. They can play with their second. They can start their second. They can start their bench and still win that game.
Don't talk that way.
No, Houston's not good.
Houston is terrible.
They're dumpster fire. And Cleveland, they're a bad team too. But to be fair with Cleveland, they do play hard. So I'll give Cleveland. They do play hard. They're not a good team, but they're a team that does scrap every night. So who knows? Maybe the Cavs pull an upset. I doubt it. But hey, it is the regular season.
Have two of the main players hurt though.
Yeah, LaMelo and Gordon Hayward. And I heard Terry Rozier did not play last night too.
Okay. Right. Dude, let's go Cavs.
So, yes,
he may come back. It could have been load management. He may come back.
But still, Hayward and
Melo
are out.
Yeah, they're going to be out for a while.
Okay. So there goes our, ray of hope that, without their full contingent of players, they are not the same Hornets that's been
surprising. Yeah.
Okay, they are not the 27 and 26 Hornets. They could be the 27 and 32 Hornets.
and I typed in the schedule for Charlotte in April. If you can see in the private chat, like they got Cleveland twice, Charlotte. They got to go to Brooklyn. That's a loss. Home against Portland. Come here to the Garden against New York. Boston twice. Home against Chicago, and then home against Milwaukee. Well, that's their schedule. So
okay,
they're probably going to struggle in that span. From Miami, They got to go to Denver. That's probably a loss. I think they can beat Minnesota. Home against Brooklyn. That's a loss, in my opinion. Home against Houston. They'll probably win that game. San Antonio twice. I think they'll split against San Antonio. Home against they have Atlanta coming up. That'll be tough. And then they got Chicago twice. I think they split.
That's their whole season? What you talking
No.
about?
That's April. That's April.
April.
May. I'll give you May when we get there. But April, because I don't want to make this too long.
What do we got?
What do we got for April?
Yeah.
We're at New Orleans tonight. Then we're at Dallas. Home against New Orleans.
Right.
Home against Charlotte. Home against Atlanta.
Right.
Home against Toronto.
Right.
Home against Phoenix.
No. Oh, yeah.
Home against Chicago.
And Chicago. So we got
to end April.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight games at home.
We gotta go at least 5-1 in that span. If we can go 6-0, I'll be happy. We gotta go at least 5-1.
The Suns is a loss?
Probably. But we could beat the Suns. We could. Though.
We can get them.
I doubt it, but we could.
If we could win all the other ones, that'll be a wwonderful thing.
True.
To go 5-1? Okay.
5-1, and also we gotta win on the road.
I'll take 4-2.
4-2, but what other loss do you see in our home games?
It's the Pelicans.
I don't see it.
Okay, well, it depends on how they play tonight.
True.
And the Hawks are tough.
Hawks are tough. I mean, I know Trae Young is hurt right now because I think he's hurt a little bit, but I think he's going to come back. It's not too serious, so I think Trae Young's going to come back. Those
are the three: the Pelicans, Hawks, and Suns. We can win one of those three, but I don't know if we can win all of those three. But we can win 2 of those.
Where are we at?
At the Garden.
At the crib.
At the crib. We're going to win that.
I think we go 5-1. I think we go 5-1. If I had to be a betting man, I say 5-1.
Oh, God. Well, don't bet the house, man. These guys are consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, you're right. They are consistently very inconsistent as a team.
Yes.
So yeah.
So because of that, they can go 5-1.
Sure, they could, or we can go 3-3 or 4-2, or yeah. Right. But we gotta also win on the road because we gotta beat New Orleans tonight. That'll be a tough game, and then we got to beat the Mavericks in Dallas, though. So
yeah, that's another tough one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
We owe them, so let's give them that. We owe them one.
Well, let's beat the Pelicans first, and then we think about the Mavericks. Let's beat the Pelicans first. So
one game at a time.
Like you said, one game at a time. Try to stay focused. If you Thibs has done a really good job keeping his team virtually focused all year, showing hustle. Some people think Thibs should be coach of the year. Some people. What do you guys think? Who do you think should be coach of the year?
Monty Williams.
Okay.
Phoenix Suns?
Monty Williams. Me, I think no. My opinion, I think it's Quinn Snyder. That's just me personally.
I was thinking of Snyder as well.
But did you consider Utah to be a better equipped team and more put together, veteran squad before the season started than Phoenix?
I mean, yes.
Phoenix, you looked at as an 8 seed. Utah, the top 3 or 4.
No. Not better than the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, or Mavericks. No. Excuse me. I thought
top 4. No. Not better than top 4.
No. Before the season, I thought the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nuggets, and arguably the Mavericks were going to. Even the Blazers were going to be better than the Jazz. I thought Utah would be a playoff team. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't expect the Jazz to have the best record in the NBA.
I don't say the best, but I definitely figured them to be better than Portland, Dallas. I see them better than. They might have better superstars like Dallas, like Luka's a bigger star than maybe Donovan Mitchell, but as a constructed team and what they do and how they've been playing, I think their style of play has been running through people the last couple of years, But I mean, it's all toss up. It's all toss up conversation,
Yeah, that's true.
True. Who's your?
That's my feeling. That's my feeling.
Nice. Who's your coach of the year? So you think it's Monty Williams, right, Dream?
Drake, yeah, Monty.
What about you? What about the rest of you guys? I'll be back quickly.
I was thinking Snyder. I was thinking the same thing that he was thinking. I was thinking Snyder.
One problem with what you guys are saying is that those guys were already up, one of the upper echelon teams. They went to the playoff last year, and they went to the second round.
The Suns didn't make the playoffs last year. No, the Suns missed it last year.
No,
and the Jazz. Oh, the Jazz lost in the first round.
The Jazz went and they were playing who? The Nuggets. They lost.
The Nuggets were up 3-1. They blew it.
But and the Suns, they went on an 8-0 run last year.
Doesn't matter. They didn't make the playoffs.
But they were a good squad, and then they added
Chris Paul,
CP3. So now, if we would have added CP3,
we'll be better. Chris Paul would be a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference.
We easily would be a top 4 team.
If what we got to be in a position to be the 4th, 5th, or 6th in the East, in the West, in the whatever. The conference is what it is. We can't take that away from them. We can't say, oh, they're in the Eastern Conference, so it's a weaker thing. No. To be in the position that they're in without adding real, name brand tires to the car or fixing up the engine in any way, turbocharging the engine. Hey, that's not a bad thought.
That's a good promotion for Tibbs. I hear you.
And those are on the Hornets, James Borrego. James Borrego deserves some consideration.
But they added pieces, man.
No, but here's what you need to understand. LaMelo Ball's going to be out for a month. Gordon Hayward's going to be out probably for a month. Terry Rozier, going into the season, he was known as an inconsistent player going into this season, though. Devontae Graham, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but Devontae Graham has not really played all that well this season, though. And they have a lot of role players on that team. Nobody expected the Hornets to be where they're at right now. And they're still playing well despite they've had injuries all season. So James Borrego should be in the running, too.
Okay, he gets a vote. I still think that if you add Melo and you add Hayward to the Knicks, hey, we'd be a hell of a team too.
True, but you had the Hornets better than the Pacers and the Wizards, and you had the Hornets better than the Raptors before the year.
No.
Really?
No, not when they were able to make the deal for Hayward.
You thought it'll be better, even with Gordon Hayward. You thought it'd be better. I mean, you thought it'd be a better team.
Hayward and Ball, they became definitely a top 8.
Oh, come on! You thought it'll make the playoffs?
Absolutely.
Let's look at the top.
In the West?
East. We're talking about Charlotte. East.
Charlotte. Oh, okay.
Charlotte. And they got Gordon Hayward and they got Melo.
Okay, but you thought it'll be better than Indiana or Washington?
I don't like Indiana.
Oh, come on. Before the year, they make the playoffs?
Indiana's tough, man.
Even before you didn't even think the Toronto Raptors would miss the playoffs?
Yeah. No, I didn't think they would miss the playoffs.
Okay.
But that's the way they play. They ended up in Tampa. They, for whatever reasons, aren't playing the same way that they were playing, even with the same guys. I think they gave up one of the.
Yeah, they lost Ibaka and Gasol.
They got rid of Gasol and they got rid of that small forward.
Norman Powell. But I'm talking before the season. Norman Powell was there most of the season. I'm talking about before the season. Okay. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about before the season. But before the season, seriously, sure, you had the Hornets in the playoffs?
No.
When they drafted Melo and they got Hayward, I think they jumped over the Knicks. How about that?
No, I'm asking you, did you think they're going to make the playoffs before the year?
That's what top 8.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Let's look at the 8 teams. This is not in order. The Nets, the Bucks, that's 2 teams. The Celtics, that's 3. The Heat, that's 4. The Sixers, that's 5. Who else is there? Hang on. I thought Pacers, that's 6. I thought Raptors, that's 7. I thought you thought maybe Wizards, that's 8, or even the Bulls, considering.
I didn't think the Bulls were in there. I
thought they had a better shot in the Hornets.
I don't know. I just maybe I don't
Even
know.
the Magic. Some people thought Orlando was going to be better because remember Orlando had Vucevic too, Ross, Fournier, Gordon. People thought before the Magic would have a better chance.
Right.
No, they just don't impress me like that.
How about let me throw a name out there? How about for Coach of the Year? What about Steve Nash?
Come on! Oh yeah.
He's had to coach this whole season without a full complement of staff.
That's true. You have a good point. That's
anytime
true.
you have any one of them on the floor, you got a superstar on the floor. Okay, you got an MVP candidate on the floor every day.
Technically, two of them. Right. Oh, if you want to count Kyrie, 3, but really 2.
Two in the possible.
Yeah.
We're in the conversation.
Facts. You have a good point, Bill Jones. You have a good point. I like Steve Nash, but I don't think he should win Coach of the Year. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think he will.
He's not going to win it though. I think look, Thibs deserves to be in the running. Thibs does deserve to be in the running because Thibs has helped have fixed a toxic organization into becoming a well-balanced, fun-loving Knicks team right now. But at the same time, in my opinion, for Thibs to win Coach of the Year, he has to be a 4 or 5. He has to be, try to get a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. Top 4 or 5 seed in the Eastern Conference.
If we're top 4 seed, then I think he'll get it. I think.
Whoa. Okay, so you're saying Sixers, Nets, Bucks, and
3. No, I'm talking about teams before you who thought were going to make the playoffs before the year. Sixers, Bucks, Nets, that's 3. Celtics, that's 4. Heat, that's 5. The 3 other teams. You thought I still thought the Pacers are going, that's 6. I thought the Raptors, that's 7. I thought maybe before I'm talking about this is before the year. I thought Magic, that was 8, or
Atlanta.
I thought Hawks. I said Indiana. Okay. Atlanta. I forgot about the Hawks, though. The Hawks. I thought them too.
So if we make the 4th seed over all of those teams that he named, Tibbs they're gonna have to reward Tibbs with something.
Listen, when we started this podcast, we all went around the windows, and we all, to a man, basically, even though I have my doubts, talked about playoffs. So this podcast,
not from game 1.
The Knicks were making the playoffs.
See, I admit I didn't think we'll make the playoffs before the year.
This is what we
I was one. Yeah,
I was one of them. I'm like, okay, is this situation going to work?
I'm like, it's 37 wins.
Wait, before the year, you thought
that was me. 37.
You had the Knicks in the playoffs before the year.
I did.
Yeah, 37 wins makes the playoffs.
37 and 35. I called it before we started.
But who did you thought was going to drop out of the playoffs? Who did you thought was going to drop out?
Well, we had the play-in also, so it was a little bit different. I wasn't expecting too many teams to drop out of the playoffs. I figured those extra 2 slots we could fight to get in those extra 2 slots.
All right.
With 37 and 35.
Oh, so
now 37 and 35 is looking like 6 or 7.
It's very possible. It's very possible, and you can very well argue if we would have closed those games out earlier, we're probably getting at 40 wins potentially.
Exactly.
We could have.
1-point losses.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I say when I look at our schedule, here's my prediction. I'm just gonna check for the rest of April. We'll get to May when we get there, but the April. Here's my prediction. I think we'll beat New Orleans. I think we lose in Dallas. I think we beat New Orleans. That's 2 and 1 there. I think we can beat Charlotte. That's 3. I think we could beat Atlanta. That's 4. I think we could beat Toronto. That's 5. I don't think we beat Phoenix. That's 5 and 2. And I think we can beat Chicago. I think we can go 6 and 2 in the next 8 games. That's my guess.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We love you.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing. It's not a guarantee. It's like you said.
Nothing's a guarantee, man.
You gotta play the game.
I know.
That's a good mindset. That's a good mindset to go into these next 8 games.
Let's drop some scores for tonight's game, gentlemen.
Yes. How about
we're going a half an hour over. We'll start it off with the Prodigy. Let's give us a score for tonight's game.
It's gonna be a very close game. I'm going to say New York 1. I thought long and hard about this. New York 105, New Orleans 102. That's my guess.
Whoa.
All right.
I think it's gonna come down to the wire because, like I said, the Pels are playing well at home as of late. They're playing very well in general as of late, and we're playing very good ball too. But we're not a great road team. And usually with the Knicks, they always want to give us some close games to give us a heart attack a little bit. So I think we'll win this. I think we'll win the game, but I think we'll win by 3. That's my guess.
All right.
105, 102. This to you, Dream.
All right, appreciate the pass. And so basically, what it comes down to, New Orleans scores 114. They give up 115. So I love these guys that give up these 110 plus games. That works for us. So normally we in our last 3 of those 4 games, we were switching it, like plus minus was 10. Normally it's 5. So I'm gonna split that difference, do plus minus at 7. So I'm gonna take away 7 from New Orleans and drop them at 107. I'll give us the 7 because we normally score 105. That gives us 112, 107 Knicks.
Okay.
107 Knicks. Okay. I'm going to say the following, man.
No, wait, let me go first because you're going to close this out.
Okay.
So, what did you say, Dream? 112, 107?
112, 107.
All right.
Got 105, 102.
You got 105, 102. I got that down. And then me, I say New York is going to pull a squeaker, 108, 106.
Okay.
And with that being said, let me go to the man, Agua.
You know, in the last 3 games, we are, I even say, the last 5 games, we averaging over 100 points a game, which is like, well over our average. 112, 99, 133, 102, 111. I'm going to give them the 110 to the Knicks and 104 to the Pelicans.
Okay.
All right.
So we all agree it's gonna be a close game. We don't expect a blowout because, like we agree, both teams are trying to make the playoffs. We're trying to make our first postseason since 2013. New Orleans is trying to make their first postseason since 2018. So, yeah, it's gonna be a very tough game. And Zion versus Rand will be a good matchup. Zion versus RJ. Yeah. Hey, the Duke buddies meet once again.
They're gonna feed off each other.
Yeah, man. And Sunday, we see him again on Sunday. Hopefully, if we go for the sweep, if we win tonight, and hopefully we get our first 4-game winning streak of this season. Yeah?
Yes, let's get that.
So as we always say at the end of every podcast, once a Knick.
Once a Knick, always
a Knick.
Thank you, fellas.
Good night, everybody. And
see you later.
Catch you in the chat.